and welcome to another Transformers related video. Yes, very, very original idea of me. However, today I would like to discuss the possibilities of what the next Transformers movie could be. So, obviously, we have so far in this new timeline, assuming of course Lorenzo keeps his fucking mouth shut, we have Bumblebee and Rise of the Beasts. Now, Bumblebee, it was an amazing movie. All right, I still feel like Bumblebee just does not get the attention that it deserves outside of the Transformers fandom. Rise of the Beasts, it would have done a lot better had it had a better release date. Bumblebee came out in December, and it was obviously considered a financial success because it had a lower budget than the other movies. So it being a success, the standard's not exactly high. Rise of the Beast came out at a time where there were a lot of different movies. On the 2nd of June, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse came out, which is still my favorite movie of the year, by the way. That movie was absolutely phenomenal. Then there was Rise of the Beast on the 9th of June, and then there was The Flash on the 16th. Now, Across the Spider-Verse was highly anticipated because obviously the first movie was basically flawless, right? Then the movie after that, after Rise of the Beast, is obviously The Flash. Now, The Flash got a lot of attention, obviously because of everything concerning Ezra Miller. And that movie was getting talked about a lot, not because people were excited to see it, but because people were bashing the movie. So Across the Spider-Verse and The Flash got so much attention in different ways, and Rise of the Beast release was just bang in the middle of the two movies, meaning that everyone kind of just forgot about it. It made 400 million, which is still really good, but it could have done so much better if they had a better release date. So that will obviously count to the fact that it'll probably be a while until we get the sequel to Rise of the Beast. And what could that movie be? Well, there are a couple options, right? The next movie, it could be G.I. Joe. I know, I don't want it to be. All right, whoever came up with that idea, Lorenzo, what the fuck is wrong with you? Lorenzo is just ruining the entire Transformers franchise before it even got back on its feet. Oh my god, there's something wrong with this man. There will probably be, if they continue with this idea, hopefully not, there will probably be a G.I. Joe live action movie, and then the next Transformers movie will probably have them in it. And, oh god, they are literally just using Transformers as like a piggyback for G.I. Joe. Because G.I. Joe in live action does not have a good track record. It's even worse than Transformers. But that is not the point. So it could be a G.I. Joe Transformers crossover. Or what I am personally hoping for is a Beast Wars movie without Autobots. As much as I loved having the Autobots and Maximals together, the Beast didn't have enough time to shine in Rise of the Beast. It took about an hour and maybe about 15 minutes probably for the Maximals to show up in Rise of the Beast, And the movie is only like 2 hours. So the Maximals only had like half an hour of screen time really. And I feel like a Beast Wars movie is what we need. And Optimus Primal and Airazor got most of the spotlight, whereas Rhinox and Cheetor just didn't do anything. I was so excited for Cheetor because Tongai Chirisa, who voices him, is from Zimbabwe. South Africa is next to Zimbabwe. But Rhinox literally said one line, "We'll clear the way." Fuck's sake. In a Beast Wars movie, I feel like you could have those three Maximals, Primal, Rhinox, and Cheetor, and then bring in the ones who were with Airazor, because I highly doubt that Airazor got separated, by herself. The easiest one they could bring in is Tigatron, because all they have to do is take the Cheetor model and just change certain things about it, change the color, maybe they don't have to make, major changes to that model, because obviously Cheetor is a cheetah and Tigatron is like a tiger. So they just have to kind of make him a bit more buff. And Tigatron is probably the easiest one to bring in. And please, Primus, bring in Rat Trap. I know Stephen Cable Jr. wanted Rat Trap in Rise of the Beast, but they just had way too many characters. And even the characters who were in Rise of the Beast, there were a lot of them who didn't really get enough time to shine. Wheeljack, thank God he barely did anything. RC needed more screen time. Bumblebee needed more screen time. And Rhinox and Cheetor. And you know what? Primal and Airazor as well. Because they only did things like in the second half of the movie. Battletrap needed more. Unicron actually was fine. Nightbird needed more. You know, there's so many characters who were just kind of half-assed in this movie. As for the villains, obviously, come on, man. You need them. You cannot have a Beast Wars movie without the Predacons. Now, in Rise of the Beast, I know that we did have Scorponok. They weren't named, but in a deleted scene, when they were falling through the sky, Rhinox looked up and said, Predacons. Well, I think it's Rhinox. But basically, they were... So, as of now, we don't really have confirmation that they were Predacons. They could have just been Scorpion servants of Unicron. So, for the next movie, we need actual Predacons, alright? Bring in Scorponok. Obviously, you need Beast Megatron. If you don't bring in Beast Megatron, you are an idiot, alright? And please, just the cherry on the top would be David Kaye voicing him. Please! And, I mean, for others, obviously, you gotta have Waspinator, right? Waspinator and Rampage, both of them will definitely be in it if they make a Beast Wars movie. Because with Waspinator, he made it to the concept art stage, and he looks pretty cool. Rampage, the model is done. He is ready. You know, they just didn't get to use him. So, yeah, we need Beast Megatron, Rampage, whoever I just said, Waspinator. Bring in Pterosaur as well. They're going to need a set of eyes in the sky. Maybe Tarantulas. Maybe. He can be like the tech guy of the group. But the only character who I'm not really sure who they will introduce, like what side they'll make him, is Dinobot. They could introduce Dinobot, but it depends on what they're going to do with him. If they're just going to make him a Maximal immediately, I won't really have an issue with it, because if they make him a Predacon, they will have to execute his arc perfectly, because Dinobot's character in Beast Wars was just something else. He was in a show that did not fit his character. He was so well written, so complex, and ultimately his death, I think, had everyone in tears. It was heartbreaking. So if they bring in Dinobot as a Predacon, they're going to have to do it right. Otherwise, just play it safe and introduce him as a Maximal. As for anyone else, I highly... In a Beast Wars movie, I feel you don't need Unicron. You don't need Unicron in this one. And that leads into the third and final option, which is a regular Transformers movie. The Autobots and Decepticons. Or another Terracon. If they make another Terracon be the villain of the next movie, it needs to be Cyclonus. I don't care what you say. Unicron can still be the overarching villain, because this will be his trilogy. But the main villain, I think, needs to be Cyclonus, because then you can bring in Megatron or Galvatron or whatever in a future movie. And I have said, I've made a video on it, as to how even if Unicron gets killed, we can still get Galvatron in a future film. But I feel like having Cyclonus be the villain of the next one will just be so cool. I mean, yeah, what else can there be? For Autobots, bring in some more characters that we know, please. Because currently we have Prime, Bumblebee, RC, Mirage, and Wheeljack. Fix Wheeljack, please. That is my main concern for the Autobots. Please fix Wheeljack. And for Bumblebee, you know, give him his voice back, please. Because in Rise of the Beast, he was just reduced to just spitting out quotes. As for who they could bring in, I mean, God, come on. There's Ratchet, there's Ironhide, there's literally anyone from the Bay films. As for Decepticons, come on. Please, as much as I want Megatron, you gotta give my boy Transit some screen time, please. He's beautiful. He is one of the best designs of any Transformer ever. And I'm not saying that as a meme. I love it. Transit getting cut from Rise of the Beast is one of the biggest crimes in cinema history. He is gorgeous. He's beautiful. We need him in the next movie, please. So yeah, for Decepticons, please, we need Transit. We need Megatron. please, and bring in Soundwave, Starscream, and Shockwave. Oh my god, that would be gorgeous. I think I would actually cry. Megatron, Transit, Starscream, Soundwave, and Shockwave all in one movie. I don't think I'll be able to handle it. I also feel like with this transwarp key, yes, they said they were able to, just go from place to place. But I feel like it could definitely be used to travel to alternate universes. And hopefully, if Lorenzo just fucks off, we can establish what happened with the Bayverse, and that is simply that Unicron transformed and Earth was destroyed. I feel like that's if they do ever want to explain what happened to the Bayverse, just do that. Just say Unicron transformed and Earth was destroyed. I feel like that would be a brilliant exposition to have in the opening. Like if Cyclonus is the villain, he would just be like, another version of my master destroyed Earth or something like that. Like they won't specify that he was Earth, just say he destroyed Earth. I feel like that would be a genius idea. And also, if it is just a regular Transformers movie like Autobots and Decepticons, the next one, then the ending, we need Unicron to transform. Please, I want to see what he will look like in robot mode. I mean, as for like main characters, I think I've said enough, really. We have Autobots, we have Decepticons, and maybe Unicron. So, yeah, I mean, those are really the only options for the next Transformers movie. A Beast Wars movie, a G.I. Joe movie, or a regular Transformers film. And hopefully they bring it back like it used to be, right? Bring back the days of like Age of Extinction, Dark of the Moon action, because yes, I know while people who like G1, the G-Winers, as people say, the G-Winers, they are like so simple-minded or just blind that they can't focus on what's happening in the Bayverse. That's their own damn fault, all right? I followed it perfectly fine. So you need to bring back that action, because while the action in Rise of the Beast was easy to follow, it was just a little too clean, if that makes any sense. Like even the CGI in Rise of the Beast is fantastic. Don't get me wrong. It is absolutely gorgeous. But it just doesn't have that like grungy kind of dirty feel of the Bayverse. The words were not wording right then. I don't know. It was just a little too clean. I hope that for the next movie, while NPC did do a fantastic job, I hope ILM does the next one. Oh my god, that'll be phenomenal. Anyway, I have got distracted enough. I was literally just supposed to give 3 possibilities of the next movie. But anyway, if you did enjoy this video, and actually, you know what? I want some engagement. Tell me, comment down below what you want the next Transformers movie to be, and what do you want in it, or like characters or anything like that. Please, leave a like, subscribe, and goodbye.